Hi, my name is Devin Moss, and today I'm about to be talking about the Native American law and how it affected Native Americans and our society today. Okay. Objectives. Hopefully, by the end of this PowerPoint, you will fully understand Native American law, the significance of it, the impact it has on our society, and the history. The history of Native American law. When Europeans encountered the New World, they realized how diverse it was. When they started with the New World, Europeans started to establish here. They started making a government. The Native Americans own up to 56 million acres of land. Okay, so when Christopher Columbus came on his journey from Spain to the New World, which is now the United States, he thought he had landed in India, so that's how he called Native Americans Indians. And 56 million acres is a lot of land, so they owned a lot of land. So the significance of the Native American land. The Native American people had their own resources, and they did own all of their land before the Europeans came and decided to take it over. In the colonial period, the United States treated with Indian nations for their land, according to the Supreme Court history on page 370. A treaty is an agreement between two parties. The United States created a treaty to take the land away from Native American people. So basically, the United States wanted to expand, so they decided to expand westward. Okay, the Treaty of New Kota. So the Treaty of New Kota was the name of the treaty that the Native Americans and America decided to agree upon. So in 1835, the Treaty of New Kota was signed by a minority of Cherokees, including Major Ridge, John Ridge, and Ellis Boundet. Also, the president who decided to sign this was Andrew Jackson. This treaty will expand the United States in the West. However, they decided to also push the Native Americans westward also. So this treaty would give Cherokee land west of Mississippi to the United States in exchange for $5 million. The movement for the Native Americans is called the Trail of Tears. So these people had to migrate to the West. It's not like how we travel today. We have cars or airplanes, which we can pick up and move. Via cars and planes, which is easier. So the Trail of Tears, what is it? So the Cherokee Nation did not respond well to the treaty. They in fact did not cooperate with this. As a result, in May 1838 and May 1839, federal soldiers and state militia brought up 16,000 Cherokees from Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and North Carolina, taking them to stockades and forcing them to get on boats and then march to Indian Territory, present-day Oklahoma. So a minimum of 1/4 of the Cherokee population deceased. So about 4,000 people died. So the Native Americans, they died either from exhaustion or sickness. And on their migration, they made unmarked graves for the fallen Cherokee tribe. Okay, so what happened to the Native Americans now? Congress nevertheless enacted a statute mandating the allotment of the Indian Reservation. I got this from Supreme Court History, page 375. Since we invaded on their land, we decided to relocate them to reservations. From the point of the alignment until present day, there was a devastating laws recorded of 90% of all land holdings of the Kiowa, from a pre-alignment total of 2.9 million acres to just above 3,000 acres. 60 pre-alignment total of 2.9 million acres to just above 3,000 acres. 60 ultimately 118 reservations were allotted, and 44 of those reservations were open to white homesteading. So, Native American law on our society. There are now a lot of laws and regulations regarding reservations. So Congress decided to create laws and regulations so, the Native American people now can, feel safe and nobody can, kick them off their land. Congress authorized the condemnation of tribal lands allotted to individual landowners, but not of lands held by a tribal entity. Basically, the Congress owns the reservations for the Native American people. Now people cannot run the Native Americans off their own land. Native American law. There's been a lot of laws that will protect against Native American people. One of the federal laws is NAGPRA. This stands for the Native American Graves Protection and Replication Act. NAGPRA was initially enacted in 1990 to establish the rights of Indian tribes and their lineal descendants to obtain repatriation of certain human remains, funerary objects, sacred objects, and objects of cultural patrimony from federal agencies and museums. Okay, so the removal of sports logos. As you all know, like earlier this year, kind of, mid-year, mid-year, the Washington Redskins changed their name to the Washington football team. And a couple years ago, the Indians used to have this logo, but however, changed this. They changed this because they thought it was racist to the Native American people. So this is the new logos of the Cleveland Indians and the Washington now football team. And Cleveland, changed it to a black C, and then Washington's Redskins now changed it to the Washington football team. In conclusion, Europeans kicked Native Americans off the land and claimed as their own. Chose to kill 4,000 Cherokees in the relocation process. Native American law still has an impact on our society by creating reservations and helping them get protected by the Congress. My Works Cited page. Works Cited continue. And that's it.